Hello, my friends, and welcome to this, another edition of Lori's Stories. Welcome once again to my couch. My name is Lori, and I work for the Children's Book Bank, which is open a little bit of the time right now, and I will tell you about those hours after story time. For now, I'm going to read 2 books. Last week, I read a book all about animals. It was a non-fiction book. It had all kinds of true facts about animals. And this week, I'm going to read 2 books about animals. So I hope you're okay with reading a lot about animals, because that's just sort of the kick I'm on. Hope that's cool. These books are for a little bit smaller people than last week. Last week had lots of measurements and numbers kind of involved in the story. And these are a bit more things that you notice when you look at these animals. So this one is Birds by Kevin Henkes, who's written just so many excellent things. I believe I read Chrysanthemum a while ago, several weeks ago, which is one of my absolute favorites. And this is Emily Gravett's Dogs, which is also very nice. So I think I will do dogs first because it's in my hand, and then we'll look at birds. Dogs. Let me see. There we go. I love dogs. I love big dogs and small dogs. I love stroppy dogs and soppy dogs. These are very British words, but I believe stroppy means kind of grumpy, and then soppy is maybe like a little bit wimpy. I love dogs that bark and dogs that don't. I'd say I think I like one more than the other. I don't know about you. I love dogs that play and dogs that won't. I love hairy dogs and bald dogs. They just have fur on their head, but that's it. Stripy dogs and spotty dogs. Can't see his leg. I love slow dogs and fast dogs. Scruffy and smart dogs. I think in this case she means sort of fancy dogs, like they're dressed up smartly, not like smart in there. I love dogs that are good and dogs that are bad. You see what the bad dog did? Oh dear. But the dog that I love best, let's see. What do you think? Who do you think's the best dog? I don't know. I bet you have a favorite that's maybe different from mine. Let's see the best dog. Is any dog that won't chase me. So it was the cat telling the story. And all the dogs are chasing it. Oh dear. And that is the end of my very short story. I hope you enjoyed it. I think this book is sort of fun because it deals with opposites. We've got slow dogs and fast dogs, loud dogs and quiet dogs. And that's something that if you have a pet at home, you can compare your pet to the animals in this book. Do you have a loud pet? Do you have a quiet pet? I don't have a dog, but I do have a turtle. And turtles are very quiet because they actually don't have the things in their throat to make noise. So they can't yell. They can't bark. So I have a quiet pet. But you could do that if you have a pet at home, or if you have a friend with a pet. Or if you look out the window and go, well, that is a huge dog. Then you can see if you can find a small dog. So there's my dog book about opposites. Now let's look at birds by Kevin Henkes. In the morning, I hear birds singing through the open window. I wonder if you do too. I do sometimes. Usually just in the spring, very, very early in the morning. Birds can be yellow, or blue, or brown, or red, or even green, I think. Have you seen a green bird? I think I've seen a green bird, but maybe not outside in Toronto. Maybe as someone's pet, or maybe at the zoo. Sometimes they are so black that you can't see their eyes or their feathers, just their shapes. I see a lot of black birds outside for sure. Birds can be big or little, or any size in between. I wonder how many of these birds do you know? What do you think? I could definitely tell you about 4 of them, but not the rest. You see the flamingo and the hummingbird. I see a seagull and an owl. But I don't think I know the names of the other birds. Maybe you do. Maybe Mom or Dad does. Once I saw 7 birds on the telephone wire. They didn't move, and they didn't move, and they didn't move. I looked away for just 1 second. What do you think happened? And they were gone. I've definitely seen that happen. I don't know about you. If birds made marks with their tail feathers when they flew, think what the sky would look like. It'd be pretty cool. If clouds were birds, the sky would look like this, or like this, when they're awake and when they're asleep. Sometimes in winter, a bird in a tree looks like one red leaf left over. You see it? Do we think it's a leaf or a bird? It's hard to tell from far away. If there are lots of birds in one tree and they all fly away at the same time, it looks like the tree yelled, "Surprise!" That's pretty cool. If I were a bird, I would ask where all the other birds go when it's stormy and they can't get home to their nests. What do you think? Have you ever seen a bird caught in a rainstorm? I definitely have. I like to pretend I'm a bird. I can't really fly, but I can do this. What do you think? What can a person do that a bird does as well? There are lots of things. I've asked this to classes in person, and they have lots of ideas. So your idea's not wrong. But this is what the author thinks. I can sing, just like a bird. And that is the end of my story about birds by Kevin Henkes. I'm a big fan of this one as well because, just like dogs, this is all about observing stuff, specifically observing animals and nature. And that's really what a zoologist does. That's what scientists who study animals do. So if you look out your window and you see birds and you want to draw them or write them down, write some descriptions about them, big birds, small birds, loud birds, the same things that were sort of in the dog book, then you're pretty much halfway to being a zoologist. Maybe that's what you want to do when you grow up. So thank you for listening to my 2 stories. This is Dogs by Emily Gravett, Birds by Kevin Henkes. I don't know for sure, but if you're looking for an ebook copy, I recommend looking on the Toronto Public Library's website. I haven't checked to see if it's there, but you'll find lots of things by Kevin Henkes. I can guarantee you that. And of course, you can visit us at the storefront. Again, I don't know if I have these exact books, but so many books about animals. Just so many. You're guaranteed to find one that you find interesting. So let's talk about when the book bank is open. Right now in July, we are open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesdays is from 10 to 2, Wednesdays is from 12 to 4, and Thursdays is from 2 to 6. So it's 4 hours every day, but it just changes from day to day. It gets a little bit later. You do have to wear a mask when you come in the building. Grown-ups don't have to bring their kids, but of course we'd love to see them. They're welcome to come. As long as everybody's got their mask on, they're good to go. We'll be happy to see you there. I think that's just about all I have to say. Oh, if you want to be notified of when other videos come onto this channel, when another Lori Stories happen, or something else, I don't know, you can subscribe. There's a big, I believe, red subscribe button somewhere down here below the video. That is all I had to say. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and thank you for listening to my stories.